Before I begin, I have to ask, if discovering the truth meant tearing your entire world apart, would you still chase it? Hi there. I appreciate you being here. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Also, drop a comment below and tell me where you're tuning in from. I love hearing from all of you. Now let's dive in. A low buzz rattled the surface of a polished oak desk. Adrien looked up, blinking through the haze of fatigue after hours spent buried in quarterly reports. Without much thought, he reached for his phone, more out of habit than interest. One message. No name. No chat history. Just 6 words. Redwood Tavern. Back corner booth. Come now if you want the truth. Adrien stared, unsure. No photos. No links. No emojis. Nothing dramatic. Just a clean, precise invitation. His first instinct. Mistaken number. Maybe spam. Or a bad joke. But something about the words clung to him. Intentional, sharp. Come now if you want the truth. They struck a nerve he didn't know was exposed. His chest tightened before his mind could fully understand why. Deep down, something told him this was about Elise. She'd mentioned visiting her mother tonight. Just for a few hours, she'd said breezily. Nothing had seemed unusual. Still, Adrien grabbed his keys without realizing. His heart pounded as he maneuvered through the city, lights streaking across the windshield like ghosts of memory. Redwood Tavern. A place saturated with meaning. Anniversaries, special occasions, nights wrapped in warmth and whispered promises. But tonight, it loomed like a silent monument to betrayal. He parked a short distance away, eyes fixed on the golden glow spilling from its windows. Everything looked ordinary, calm even, but he knew better. With quiet precision, Adrien slipped through the side entrance and moved along the walls like a shadow. He scanned the booths methodically, and then he saw her, Elise, sitting in the back corner, lit softly by the amber hue of the tavern's lamps. Her posture relaxed, her face glowing. She leaned in close to a man Adrien had never seen before, sharply dressed, confident, effortlessly commanding. They laughed. Naturally. Intimately. It wasn't innocent. Adrien's stomach turned as he watched Elise place her hand on the man's. Then came the laugh, gentle and familiar, the kind she once saved for him. And then she kissed him. Not a brief mistake. Not a hesitant brush of lips. Kiss with intention, deep, certain, knowing. Adrien's chest clenched. But his hands were still. He raised his phone and captured the moment. Just one image. He didn't make a scene. Didn't shout. He just turned and left. Each step heavier than the last. The cool night air wrapped around him like punishment. When he reached his car, something made him turn back. Through the tavern's window, Adrien locked eyes with the man. The stranger didn't flinch. His gaze was clear, chilling, almost smug. He leaned toward Elise and whispered something in her ear. She froze. The smile fell from her face instantly. Her eyes darted around the room, frantically searching. She didn't see Adrien. But Adrien saw everything. This wasn't a coincidence. That message. It hadn't been a warning. It was a setup. He wanted Adrien to see. Adrien drove home in silence, face unreadable. His mind screamed while his features stayed calm. The house greeted him unchanged. Dinner waiting on the table. A candle flickering, Elise's favorite scent. But something inside him had cracked beyond repair. He sat alone, staring at a wedding photo. Frozen joy from a life now erased. His phone buzzed. Message. Cold. I want a divorce. From now on, all contact will be handled through our lawyers. No explanation. No remorse. Just a clean break drawn through every shared moment. Adrien didn't answer. He didn't scream. He didn't even cry. He just sat there. As the truth finally settled over him like a sage, by the time daylight spilled across the skyline, Adrien had already taken action. His first call went to a no-nonsense attorney named Miranda Chase. Sharp-minded, efficient, and known for dismantling cases with precision. She listened without interrupting, then responded with a single directive. "Give me everything." Adrien handed over everything he had. The photo, the anonymous message, their financial records, joint statements, every shared thread between him and Elise. That very day, Adrien started severing ties. He cancelled her credit cards, revoked her access to all shared accounts, and reset every password. It wasn't an act of revenge. It was protection. Elise had made her decision. He was just tying up the loose ends. 2 days later, a polished letter arrived from Elise's attorney, a self-important man named Damon Pierce. The letter demanded Adrien reinstate financial support for Elise immediately. Miranda's response was swift and merciless. She attached the message Elise had sent, cold, formal, severing direct communication, and listed every financial move Adrien made after receiving that legal demand. Elise's side tried to spin the story, casting her as the wounded wife, blindsided and struggling. The phone calls started soon after. Friends reached out, confused, asking why Adrien was being so cruel. Whispers traveled through the family grapevine, painting Elise as misguided, fragile, lost in grief. But Adrien offered no explanations. He let them draw their own conclusions. While the world speculated, Miranda kept digging, and what she uncovered made Adrien's stomach drop. Elise had attempted to siphon money from an old, rarely used joint account. A stash significant enough to leave lasting damage. She nearly succeeded. But Miranda spotted the transaction in time. This wasn't about sorrow. It wasn't a woman coping with heartbreak. It was deliberate, strategic. The divorce proceedings turned bitter and slow. Elise's legal team painted her as a deserted wife, claiming Adrien's emotional detachment drove her to seek affection elsewhere. But Miranda dismantled those claims brick by brick. Elise's own message cut Adrien off. The theft attempt was documented. And the kiss, captured on camera, left no room for confusion. Then came the underhanded attacks. Anonymous complaints landed at Adrien's workplace. Whispers of misconduct began to circulate. Deals began stalling. Business partners grew hesitant. Still, Adrien never reacted emotionally. With Miranda's help, he launched a comprehensive internal audit that exposed the truth and cleared his name, professionally and publicly. Eventually the attacks stopped. But Adrien had already pieced it together. It was Elise. She hadn't just betrayed him emotionally. She'd tried to dismantle everything he'd built. At the final court appearance, Elise broke down in tears. Between sobs, she accused Adrien of neglect, claiming his emotional absence pushed her into someone else's arms. Miranda stood calmly and read Elise's divorce message aloud, the one that severed ties without remorse. Then, she presented the full scope of Elise's deception. The judge didn't hesitate. "Your present circumstances are the result of your own decisions," he stated firmly. Adrien retained full rights to his business. It had existed before the marriage and remained untouched. Elise, meanwhile, was sanctioned for attempting to conceal a property purchase during the proceedings. Her alimony was reduced to the legal minimum, just enough to survive. Elise didn't argue. Her composure crumbled completely as she left the courthouse alone, reputation in ruins. The gossip followed quickly. Weeks later, an old acquaintance, someone who had known them both socially, met Adrien for drinks and laid it all out. The man Elise had kissed that night. His name was Marcus Weller, a cunning financial consultant known for manipulating his clients' personal lives, especially their partners. It was Marcus who had sent the anonymous message. He wanted Adrien to witness the affair firsthand, assuming it would drive him away and clear the path for Marcus to take his place. What Marcus hadn't anticipated was Adrien's resolve. He hadn't known the company Adrien built was fireproof. He hadn't expected Elise to walk away empty-handed. And when the fallout landed, Marcus vanished. No text, no calls. He cut Elise off and disappeared, leaving her to deal with the ruins alone. Adrien didn't gloat. He didn't revel in her collapse. He simply walked away, calm, measured, and unmoved. The man who once believed in forever had become someone new. Not bitter but wiser. More focused. Less trusting but far stronger. The scars were real. But they taught him something lasting. He hadn't lost everything. He'd only lost the illusion. And sometimes, that's the most painful truth of all.